trophy has touched down here at Yas Marina, the meeting place of champions. And we've got a brand new race car, the Dartmouth F326. It's a new challenge and a new era. So, let's find out who's in the mix in 2026. Mumbai Falcons are the reigning team's champions, and they won the crown in 2023 with a certain young Kimi Antonelli. In 2026, they're up for another great campaign, with Colombia's Salim Hanna, Kian Nakamura Berta of Great Britain, and the American superstar, Sebastian Weldon. 2 years ago, Race GP won the driver's title with Finland's Tuukka Tappinen. Now they've got an amazing lineup from all over the world. Gerard G of China, Yuki Sano of Japan, and the UAE's home title favourite, Rashid Al-Baheri. Swiss team G4 Racing arrive in Yas Marina for the very first time, and Patrick Nose has brought 3-star talents to the grid. 2 Frenchmen, Adrien Duke, Super Dupe as he's known, alongside Macau F4 race winner Jules Rossel. Also in the team is Kyrgyzstan's Artem Sabukin. Keith Donegan's Race Performance Motorsport squad have flown in from Piacenza to take on the challenge, and they've got 3 superstar drivers: Nigan Costa of Brazil, Poland's Jan Widowski, and from Italy, Giovanni Mascio. From Lake Garda in northern Italy comes CL Motorsport, run by David Lee, and he's brought 3 fantastic drivers to the foray. From the UAE, Michael Beloff, from China, Newman Chi, and from Switzerland, Enea Frey. It's the 10th anniversary for Pinnacle Motorsport, and the boys from Manila have brought 2 flying aces to the foray: August Raber from here in the UAE, and Miami Heat himself, Alex Powell. Trident Motorsport have won the last 3 FIA Formula 3 Drivers' Championships, so their thirst for victory cannot be denied. And with the 3 drivers they've got on board, we should see some strong fireworks. Guy Darianani of Great Britain, Max Popov of Italy, and Serbia's Andrea Kostic. ART Grand Prix come back to the Middle East after winning the title last season with Evan Gilter. Now they have 3 new faces to put themselves into the mix: Taito Kato of Japan, Singapore's Kabir Anurag, and the Monegasque, Matteo Giacardi. And Amersport Racing have an immense reputation in single-seaters. They've given us almost a quarter of the current Formula 1 grid over the years. And this season, in the Middle East, they've brought 3 powerhouses: India's Dion Gowda, China's Felix Fu, and Portugal's Francisco Macedo. Leading the charge for the new teams on the grid is Kiwi outfit Rodi Motorsport, who have been the dominant kings of the British scene for the last 2 seasons. And there's 3 drivers who will not just be making up the numbers on board: Alex Ninovich of Australia, Reza Suburban of Great Britain, and Germany's Maxim Ren. And finally, after a 1-year sabbatical, MP Motorsport are back, and Sander Dorsman's Flying Dutchman have 3 brilliant drivers in the squad: Alex Abkasava for Kyrgyzstan, Singapore's Christian Ho, and Brazil's very own Lightning McQueen, Alcif Feldman Nito. morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. This is race number 2 of round number 2 of the championship. This should be a very exciting round. I'm excited to see exactly what is going to happen within this race. The competitors are going to have a challenge on their hands. This is going to be good. Let's send it down to Jake Sensen.
Ready for the second reverse grid race of the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy 2026 here at Yas Marina, the meeting place of champions. Last time, it was all the way of Christian Ho for MP Motorsport. This time, we've got an Aussie on the pole position. Rodin Motorsport has had a very tricky start to the season, but their GB3 champion from 2025, Alex Nidovic, now has a chance to set the record straight and give Rodin their first victory of 2026. Can they make it happen? Let's find out.
Should be very interesting indeed. The weather at the moment, 20 degrees. We've got about a southeasterly wind blowing the way off the track. 45% humidity, so the track a bit humid out there. Now overnight here in Abu Dhabi, we've had a bit of rain. The rain has completely washed away any rubber that has been laid down onto the circuit, but that should be a challenge for the drivers to face for themselves. Let's take a look at the track we're racing at here this weekend. We're racing in Abu Dhabi, the corkscrew section. A big challenge for the drivers. We've got 2 chicanes. I make that 3. Turn 1 is at turn 9 on the F1 circuit, and we're using the Porsche pits this weekend. Sharing with the pits is F4 UAE here this weekend as well. 16 corners, 4,572 metres, and start point to end point, 315 metres. Let's send it down to Jake Sensen for all the updates on the grid.
After a podium last week in the reverse grid race, Alex Nidovic now fancies his chances to go one better in the 5th race of the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy 2026, the second round of the competition. The T326 is going to meet its biggest adversary yet, rain at Yas Marina. We just had a crazy UAE 4 Series race that has ended in confusion and question marks. Now we're going into Formula Regional Middle East Trophy with the track still wet in places, a 7% chance of more rain. We're going to have a very intriguing competition in the reverse grid race. You can see for yourself that there are still patches of water around the circuit. It's not quite wet, it's not quite dry. We're going to battle it out in a reverse grid race in Formula Regional Middle East. Bring it on. Jake Sanson in the commentary box once again here at Yas Marina, heading into the unknown with you all. Yas Marina in the rain is rare. Yas Marina in the rain on the corkscrew layout is even rarer. Add to that, the Tartus T326 is still in its infancy, and we still don't really know what this car can do. We've never seen it race in the wet conditions. You're just about to. Alex Nidovic from Australia, he's going to get the chance to go from a reverse grid pole position. The 18-year-old from Sydney with a brilliant chance to convert a GB3 championship run last season to a first Formula Regional Middle East Trophy victory. And that really would be something quite special. Formula Regional has been in the nation since 2022, and in the last 4 seasons we've had quite some incredible drivers come through the paddock. Taylor Barnard, Tuka Tarpanen, Freddie Slater, Arthur Leclerc, Dino Beganovic, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Patrick Demarchiater, all of them multiple winners in the category. And we've even had a few other big name stars come through the paddock, including Formula 1 drivers Isaac Ajar, Gabriel Portoletto, Arvid Lindblad. All of them race winners in Formula Regional in the Middle East. Now we get to see who's going to join the ranks and become the next victor in this category. So far, 31 drivers from all around the world have taken a Formula Regional Middle East-based victory. in the last 4 seasons. We're into season 5 of this era of the single-seater car in the Middle East. And still, going into this race, your guess is as good as mine. There are patches of the circuit which are wet, patches of the circuit which are dry. It looks like the majority of the cars on their reconnaissance laps are on slick tyres. It is still wet in places. It has actually stopped raining for the moment, but I am told there is the prediction for more rain on the way. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to have a very difficult or very easy race in front of us. What we're going to have is an unpredictable one.
Jake Sensen absolutely put that correctly. This is going to be unpredictable. If you thought you haven't seen rain at Abu Dhabi before, well, the answer is you've seen it. You've seen it right here. You've heard it right here. Rain at Abu Dhabi. It's more rarer than rain. It's more rarer than rain in the Sahara Desert, which is not possible. Wet track in Abu Dhabi. That is new. Indeed, it is very new. Here's the cars make their way onto the grid, and the team's waiting there as well. We're not too far away here from lights out. Let's get more behind the scenes as we head down to the grid.
They're not your children. They're not your family members. They need to come home. I stand by the decision of the safety officials by letting them stay safe. Meanwhile, though, the Formula Regional drivers have a bit more experience to go into this.
Okay, so Alex Nidovic on pole position. The Australian, born in Sydney, raised in Sydney, has moved to the Middle East to compete in the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy this weekend. You can see the Pirelli guys there keeping a keen eye on the pressures. There are some teams out there on the wet tyre on a damp track. For example, the guy in second place, Jan Perazowski, the RPM Motorsport team, hoping that their right choice is correct. The Canadian driver on the wet tyres here on a damp track. This should be quite interesting to see what he can do as he makes his way through the grid. He's currently sitting P2. We'll see what he can do from position 2. In position 3, we have car number 15, the RPM Motorsport team, on a roll. A 2-3 in qualifying. Reverse grid of race number 1. This is Alexander Abkazava, who won the first race in this new chassis. The Tortoise T4 has got its brand new discovery, and this man won it in round number 1, in race number 1. So that's a special moment for himself. Lining up in position 4, we have the last of the MP Motorsport drivers. MP Motorsport have absolutely unleashed their pace here. Francisco Medico, this is VAR team. Francisco Medico lines up in position 4. For the VAR team, they currently lead the Constructors' Championship for the moment. I think they're leading it by about 12 points over Mumbai Falcons, who sit in position 2, which is Prema coming into 2026. The Jamaican driver, Maximilian Popov, the Trident team, making their way through the grid. He starts position 5. Trident were very happy with that. They were rounding up their applause in race number 2. We have here what looks to be Keen Nakamura Berta. So this is Sebastian Weldon, who's they've got wet tyres on the ground there. They're not sure. They're not sure what tyres to go on here, ladies and gentlemen. They've got slicks or they've got wets. They are leaving this to a last minute decision. The British driver Sebastian Weldon, who's sit at the moment in position 6. He's got support of Andretti coming into this weekend. They've got slicks or wets, and there you go. Confirmation. The Mumbai Falcon of Sebastian Weldon throwing wet tyres onto that car, and it's the same with the Alpine Academy driver of Kabir Anurag, the Alpine Academy driver, the ART team backing him along with Alpine, so hoping he can try and make his way through the field here. He starts position 7. There, the engineer having a chat to him, just saying, making sure you keep these wet tyres as cool as possible. Try and find as much water off the racing line as humanly possible to try and keep these wets cool, because you want to try and survive the whole race on these. If you can do that, you're going to be in a good position. This is not our championship leader. Artem Severukin, the G4 racing driver, starts on the wet compound tyres, and he currently sits in position 7 for this reverse grid race. In position 8, We have car number 12, another Toyota GR racing car. Starting on the wet tyres, this is Yuki Sano. Starting P8 on the grid. You can see there the team's adjusting the tyre pressures. The RSGP team hoping that their Japanese superstar can make his way through the grid, starting P8. This, the RSGP team, car 41. On the wet tyres, they continue to tighten these wet compound tyres up and get them ready. This is Alex Powell. This is Alex Powell starting further down the grids. The Pinnacle Racing car. Here he is, our championship leader. Sorry, this is not our championship leader. This is Ken Nakamura, the Japanese driver. He's currently sitting P3 in the championship. Only 37 points off the championship lead. The Japanese driver, hoping the Mumbai Falcon team as well, who currently sits second in the Constructors' Championship for the moment. And then we have our championship leader. Officially. This is officially the championship leader. Rashid Al Tahiri. He leads it by 31 points after winning the last 2 races. The hometown hero, Rashid Al Tahiri, favourite for the championship. The RSGP team were very, very happy last time out in round number 1. He won race number 3 in round number 1. He's won race number 1 in round 2. And now he's hoping to go back-to-back. But he starts position 10 after a reverse grid result. Gerard G, the RSGP driver. RSGP 10 and 11. As we make our way further through the grid. Gerard G starting on the wets. We have umbrellas up, so maybe there's a little bit of a sprinkle out there. This is Taito Kato, who starts on the slick tyres. So far, we've seen 3rd down to 10th start on the wet tyres, those grooved tyres. Then now we have Taito Kato, first of about 8 drivers to start on the slick tyres. Interesting. Now, it will be an interesting challenge for our drivers here to see what the difference is between the wets and the dries. This is Andrea Jupe, the G4 Racing team, starting position 12 on the grid. Sorry, this is position 13, should I say. It just popped up in our timing here. Starting position 13. And then we have car number 5. This is Andrea Kostic. Sorry, this is Miguel Acosta, the Brazilian driver. Got a podium last time out in race number 1. Looked very strong. He sat position 4 in the championship coming into this round. He is now dropped to position 9 after crashing in the last race. Christian Ho, who currently sits P2 in the championship, surprisingly, he currently starts in position 15 on the position 17 on the grid. So that's going to be a challenge for himself to make his way through the grid. Going to be mostly a challenge for everybody on the grid at the moment. This is Jules Russell, the French driver. Visor down. There are some drivers that decide to wave to the camera. There are some drivers that are completely focused on what's going on in front of them. And they're probably trying to keep their nerves down here. It's going to be a challenge for the drivers, especially those drivers that are starting on the slick rubber. Giovanni Maschio, the RPM racing driver. He starts in position 21 and on the slick Pirelli tyres. Of course, the first time that these cars have used the slick Pirellis, they've always used the GT tyres. They're now using the Pirelli tyres coming into 2026. And it's the first time that they're running on this wet tyre for over 2 years. Normally, of course, because this championship is in the Middle East, we don't normally get rain. However, here in the Middle East, it's normally just sunshine lollipops. So it's the first time in over 2 years we've gotten rain. So these teams and drivers are having to go back through the history in time. For example, Mumbai Falcon, the Prema team, will be having to go back in time and look at what the data was. And you normally don't have that sort of data. Confirmation from race control, we're starting under the safety car. So starting under permission of the safety car here, we did see in the F4 UAE race that happened a few moments ago. You heard Jake Sanson say that the track was extremely wet. Before this race, the track sweepers have been out there for the last hour, apparently, and they've been just sweeping as much water off the track as humanly possible. So we're now starting on a safety car, and that's just a chance for the drivers that are on the slick Pirelli rubber to try and get as much temperature in. Those wets will easily overheat, especially through those traction zones coming out of the final chicane, and especially where you get that slide coming through the corkscrew section. That's going to be a challenge for the drivers, especially through most traction zones. Down at turn 1, where the biggest traction zone is, I have to try and get the power planted without sliding the car too far sideways. That can hurt the rear tyres, especially if you're on the wet tyres and you're hoping to try and keep them cool. You can see there's still a little bit of spray coming off the back of the tyres, but it's not much. And compared to what it was, I got home 20 minutes ago, started watching the F4 UAE race that was happening, and it was absolutely pumping it down. Now there's sunshine lollipops out. So the rain has gone from pumping it down to not even existent. So that's what a way this can change. We've had a lunch break since the F4 UAE race. I was rewatching it, and the track sweepers have just been out there absolutely diabolically trying to get as much water off that racing line as humanly possible here at Abu Dhabi. That is not very normal. And for those people that are watching in that are racing nerds, like me, you would know that Abu Dhabi in the Middle East, practically in the desert, you would not get rain. Guess what? We've gotten it. So we're going to get a few laps under the safety car here, I would guess, for the drivers to even really approximate where some of that standing water is. Where that standing water is where the drivers want to stay away from. And the only time you'd really want to go near it is when those wets are getting overheating through them. Too much heat, and those blocks tend to wear out as well. So the drivers have got to be careful of that. There's a lot of things that the drivers have got to be careful of. Some of these drivers have not even raced in the rain, being how young these drivers are. Let's take a look at the grid once more. Alex Nedovich, the Australian driver, and Prerezovsky starts alongside him. Alexander Abkazava in P3, and Sebastian Makavico. Maximilian Popov and Sebastian Weldon. Kabir Anurag in P7, and Artem Severukin in P8. Yuki Sano in P9. Alex Power, who sits in position 10. Ki Nakamura in P11, and Rashid Al-Daheri in P12. Gerard G and Taito Kato in P14 and 13. Andre Dupe and Miguel Costa. We've got Christian Ho and Jules Russell in position 18. Giovanni Maschio and August Raper in position 20. We then run through Zero Chi and Dion Gauda in position 22. Dion Frey and Salim Hanna, one of the Mumbai Falcons, starts in position 24. Kai Darianani and Matteo Gagagi. Then we have Maxim Ram and Fu Wauhao in position 28. Aliso Feldon Neto and Andrea Kostic in position 30 and position 31. Reza Severukin as well, who starts in position 32. Meant to have 34 cars on the grid. We did have a massive crash in race number 1, in round number 1 of the championship, where a car did not move. And quite unfortunately, that was, I can't remember what car it was, but one of them were not able to make it to this weekend with how badly damaged that car was, straight into the rear end. And I think that was Artem Severukin, who went straight into the back of... Oh, I had the name on the top of my head like 5 seconds ago, and I've lost it. But yeah, it was a massive shunt on the start-finish line. Someone was not able to move, and a big shunt. And quite unfortunately, we have 2 drivers that are not able to make their way onto the grid. We've got cars peeling into the pit lane under the safety car here. They are getting off these wet tyres. There are cars peeling into the pit lane. I think there was about 3 that I saw. So 3 cars... 3 teams not happy with the tyres that they're on. This is not normal. In F4, where you have to change tyres, this is not normal. Yeah, the teams are absolutely screwing around here. They're trying to get tyres on, tyres off. This is very much not F1 pace, let me tell you that much. And there's jacks out there that are jackmen having to lift the cars up. Slick tyres going on, wet tyres coming off. That was one of the Mumbai Falcons coming in. That was Salim Hanna in the background. Salim Hanna coming in. And we've got the G4 racing car as well. This is Artem Severukin, who's made his way into the pits. And Salim Hanna. So that was one of the Trident teams. So not the Prema team. It was the Trident team deciding to get off those wet tyres, get onto the slicks. That was car 12. That was Taito Kato. Wow, and you can see just how much grip he's lacking. Now, the safety car will wait up, and the longer that we get drivers into the pits, the more the safety car, or the longer the safety car will stay out here, and that will only disadvantage our race leaders. Actually, it will only advantage our race leaders coming to this race, because they'll just get to keep the race lead. They'll get to scroll around, and in the process, they're actually keeping these wets alive for as long as possible. Or if our race leaders are on the slicks, they get to keep these slicks alive as long as possible. You even probably get to use them in race 3 and have a spare set there just available. But yeah, any rubber that was laid down through race 1 from the F4 UAE, or even this championship, as we've got confirmation, race controller confirmed, safety car is in this lap. And we're about to go racing for race number 2 of the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy Championship, certified by the FIA. See the safety car peeling off and into the chicane. This is going to be a struggle. This is going to be also very interesting as well. For those drivers that were hoping that they could box this lap whilst the safety car was still out, that's not going to happen. You've now got to live with it. You've got to live with the wet tyres. It wasn't the wrong call going onto the slicks. Is it the wrong call to even be on the slicks? Let's wait and find out. It's time to go green here for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. And it's a good start from Alex Ninovic. And he's got to be careful, because he's going to have Alex Peranzowski in behind, who's going to be wanting to make an attack here. Up there, around the outside now, Alex Ninovic, who wants to be covering the turn number 1. He certainly does. Wheel-to-wheel contact. The Voda Motorsport team are going to be all over the radio. Deep into the first corner, Alex Ninovic, and Peranzowski's right there, around the outside, and through goes Peranzowski. He takes the lead, and Alex Ninovic goes deep into the first corner. Peranzowski leads race number 2 of round number 2 here of the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. Ninovic went too deep into the first corner, and Abkazava, who could win his second race of his championship career, is now all over the back of Ninovic. The Australian drivers absolutely botched it. Yeah, he's very much not expected the grip he wanted. Ninovic, who's on the wet tyres, is absolutely flying at the moment. He's pulled a gap of nearly 1.5 seconds off the line. Meanwhile, we have Abkazava. Oh, contact in the background of the car, majorly off. Contact in the background. There's cars scattering everywhere. Front wings flying. Meanwhile, we have Ninovic. The Rodent Motorsport team are absolutely screwing it right now. Abkazava looking left, looking right, round the outside. It's not going to happen. Into turn number 2 on the F1 layouts. This driver's struggling for grip out there, ladies and gentlemen. Abkazava is all over the back of Ninovic. He's got the grip. He's got the traction on the wet tyres. He's got the grip and the traction. They're running 2x2 through the corkscrew section. Is Ki Nakamura Berta struggling on the... Struggling. So that was Reginol who was making moves. And Ki Nakamura Berta as well. Ninovic is... Sorry, Peranzowski. Sorry, yes, this is Ninovic. Ninovic just has to survive here. He's just got to hope that the track dries out. Here, he's just got to... That's all he's got to do here. He's got to hope. Yeah, and with the amount of water, the amount of standing water that's on the racing line here, you'd be close to aquaplaning on slicks here. Ninovic is wide of the apex. Yep. And some of these drivers here, they're using go-karting lines here. They're going right around the outside of turn number 1. Using that outside line there might just be helping these drivers. Yeah, and it's experience as well from those drivers that were in go-karting. And now they're making their way through F4 and in Formula Regional. They've got that experience. They've got those go-karting lines throughout the back of their head. You can see that. That's the contact that we saw with one of the... that was one of the MP Motorsport cars making contact. Deep. And sorry, that was Rashid Al Daheri. Rashid Al Daheri has made contact and has broken the front wing off. And Ki Nakamura Berta closer behind. He'll be wanting to take advantage of that. Yeah, he certainly will. That is big. That is big. Wow. I didn't even notice that. Well, that was Rashid Al Daheri making contact. Who is in front of Rashid Al Daheri? I want to know this front wing on the exit of turn number 1 on the F1 circuit. I wonder who's in front of... Who is in front of... He's not in a timing training, Rashid Al Daheri. At the moment, Yuki Sano sits in front of Rashid Al Tahiri. Was that who he made contact with, I wonder? Possibly. We have Sebastian Weldon and Nakamura Berta, the two Mumbai Falcons, battling just up in front. With 18 minutes to go, this race is absolutely thrashing with excitement. And Kazava, who's just dropped back, and up the inside goes Nakamura Berta on his teammate, side by side, and up the curve for Nakamura Berta. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Rashid Al Tahiri looking for moves on Yuki Sano, struggling for grip. And we have Preranzowski off the racing line, trying to find as much water as humanly possible. Here in the early stage of race number 2. Up the inside, Nakamura Berta sliding on the exit. It's absolutely all happening at the moment. These drivers are struggling. And I mean this, they're struggling for grip. We have Maximilian Popov, the Jamaican driver, 3 wide. That is Salimana going 3 wide into turn number 1. You'd have to be brave to do that. They're trying to keep it around the outside. This is battle in position 28. These are for minor positions here, ladies and gentlemen. Very minor positions. And they're battling like it's battling like it's their bloody last lap. It's unbelievable. These drivers, you will not believe just how absolutely treacherous it is out there. If I could show you without getting banned, I would. It's treacherous. And there's drivers out there that are struggling on the slick tyres. And those drivers that are on the slicks are going off the road. And as I say that, Rashid Al Tahiri straight off the road. Our championship leader, he's in the muds. Yep, he's buried deep in the mud here, Rashid Al Tahiri. He's absolutely struggling sideways into the corkscrew section. And a bit of contact as well with one of the MP Motorsport cars. He's absolutely struggling. This is our championship leader who's in the muds. Where is our championship leader? Salim Hunter and Falwell Powell battling for position 22 and position 23. Look at the amount of grip. They're struggling with another car off the road and cutting the chicane as well. Nakamura Berta looking to the inside of Maximilian Popov, who absolutely covered down the front straight. Sebastian Weldon looking for everyone. Kazama wide. And Kazama's wide, and that's a chance for Sebastian Weldon. The American driver's right there. And up the inside, around the outside, switchback. Goes the way of Sebastian Weldon. He sends it right around the outside and a squeeze off the road from Kazama. Weldon sticks it there, and Kazama backs out, and he knows that that's not his battle to battle with. He knows that. He knows that. He knows he doesn't have the grip here at Kazama. So he lets him go. Mumbai Falcon could be scoring an absolute huge amount of points. And the track doesn't seem to be drying out, especially on that front straight as well. It seems to be struggling to dry out. As now, that's Maximilian Popov, who's looking around the outside of Alex Ninovich. Popov is right there and he's wanting to make a move here. 14 minutes, 35 seconds to go. And slightly off the road there from Kazava. That could be Weldon, who makes an opportunity out of that. Ninovich is sliding his way through the corkscrew section. Al Tahiri, he's down in position 12 here. Moving to the left-hand side of the track is Alex Ninovich. Preranzowski's pulled away from the field. It's absolutely mayhem out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's what we like to see. It's action. Nakamura Berta. Sorry, this is Maximilian Popov. So, was that Preranzowski and Ninovich who were battling? This is for the lead, sorry. I stand corrected. This is for the lead of the race. Ninovich and Preranzowski. P1, P2 on the track. One of the RSGP cars. This is Yuki Sano, Dup, and down the inside. Anurag contact with Anurag contact With the RSGP cars out of back, looking right around the outside and up the curb. He's kept the position. And there's water on the outside of the circuit that he has to be careful of. I'm waiting for our timing screens here to cut back. This is absolute mayhem. All the drivers struggling for grip. Yeah, it's actually gotten better than what it was in the first part of the race. The first 13 minutes of the race was much worse than what it is now. Ninovic is looking for water on the outside of the circuit. Meanwhile, King Nakamura looking for a move on Maximilian Popov. The two Mumbai Falcons sit in position 3 and 4 on the grid. Popov and King Nakamura 3 and 4 on the grid. Sebastian Weldon and Kainarag in position 6. Up the curb for Popov and Nakamura Berta. And Sebastian Weldon's actually closing in on that battle as well. It's nearly a 3-way battle pack. Meanwhile, Alex Ninovic has retaken the lead of the Grand Prix over Peranzowski, Maximilian Popov. Meanwhile, Costa looking to the outside of our championship leader, Rashid Al-Daheri. Round the outside, it's not going to happen. Al-Daheri's gone deep. Al-Daheri has gone deep. Yeah, and he's looking for a move here. Round the outside now. Costa and Dupe. They're side by side now as they'll run into turn number 1. Who will be last of the late breakers? It might be Dupe. And it certainly is. He's kept the position. But he's back up the inside there. The thing is, taking the outside line, you've got all the marbles on the outside of the circuit. He's kept the position, though. Good job. Makadiko out of this race. Car 11, unfortunately. Out of the Grand Prix. Without contention to even make any more positions. He's 2 laps down here. Artem Severukhin, who decided to come in early on, is also a lap down as well. As Al-Daheri having to cover off a position into turn number 1. That is going to happen quite nicely. He slides his way through turn number 1. It's all happening here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got cars squirming left and right. Big move. This is Andrea Dupe and Roussel. Roussel looking around the outside, a bit of contact. Al-Daheri's there as well. This is battle position 10, 11, and 12. It's only a 4-way battle pack. Meanwhile, Severukhin round the outside. Move done. Possibly Al-Daheri's there. He's going to try and stick in with it as he makes his run through the corkscrew section. Severukhin's right there on the back of Al-Daheri. Abkazava and Costa now. They're having a good old scrap. P8, P9. Down the inside, Costa and Abkazava. It's going to get the move done. Nice. Nice. That was needed. Oh, sorry, that was Costa and Dupe. Costa and Dupe having a good old scrap at it. With 9 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Ninovic has pulled away 1.4 seconds. He's out in front and in the lead as well. Off-roads. Who is that? That's one of the GR Cup cars. Not one of the Cup cars, but GR racing cars. 3 wide. 3 wide. Surely not. Contact will be made as they make their run through. Turn number 10 on the complex. Sideways. My voice is... I cannot hold any more capacity out of my voice. Kai Anurag, this is with. Where is Anurag? This is Sano. Around the outside. And he's going to get the move done. What a move. What a move. Kai Anurag, Costa, and Yuki Sano. Battling for position with King Nakamura just up in front. Oh, I do not have any more voice left. My voice is a dead scallywag, let me tell you that much. Up the inside, Al-Daheri. And Severukhin Altaheri and Zenral Chi. They're going out at P13 and P14. 8 minutes, 20 seconds. Altaheri deep into the corkscrew. They're running 3x3 into the corkscrew. It's from all the battling that they're doing here. And Altaheri, he's in trouble. He's in trouble around. Who is that? Oh, surely that's not our championship leader. Someone's gone around, and I think it might be around. And sorry, we have to come back here. This is for position 8 and position 9. On the grids, contact. Musel and Andrea Dupe contacted straight on the chicane. Abkazava's dropped back to P12. And it's not our championship leader who's been taken out. But this is our championship leader. Kagaki around the outside. An absolute name bostle there. Altaheri, he's having to keep position. Or at least trying to. With 7 minutes and 22 seconds to go. This race is flown by. They're still running 3 wide. They're still running 3 wide. Are you kidding me, boys? Come on, turn it down a little bit. Turn it down, Salimana. Oh my god, 6 minutes, 55 seconds to go. I'm going to take a rest for my voice.
Pit lane, and that's from the pit crew enjoying fast pit stops. They don't really get to do that very often in Formula Regional. Only in changeable conditions like this one. Yellow flag at 12 as we go wheel to wheel between Kame Anurag and Yuki Sano. Anurag on the inside, the back end steps out. Well controlled. Kame Anurag could have spun straight into the side of Yuki Sano there. There was the slightest rub as they went through, but that will do. That will do for Kame Anurag. The Singaporean makes it stick.
Yeah, indeed he does. I love your videos, Trav. You're doing great. Thank you so much, Dom. Thank you. Thank you. Who's that? That's off the road. Is that Adkazava? Is that Adkazava who's gone deep? That's Adkazava who's retiring out of the Grand Prix. That is unfortunate for Adkazava, who's out of this race. That is really unfortunate. He's retiring with 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Ninovich, and that's around. That is car 17. Right around in the wrong direction as well. And there's front wing damage. So this will be a safety car. And it's a really dangerous spot to park. Really dangerous. There will be a safety car if that can't get moving in the next 5 seconds. It's on the exit of turn 1. On the ripple strip. On the F1 layout. On the exit of turn 1. And that's on the ripple strip as well. It's parked on the ripple strip. That will be a very dangerous spot. And race control will have to probably call for a safety car here any moment. And they have. I think they might call for a safety car. And yes, they have. Confirmed by race control. Safety car has been deployed. With 5 minutes to go in the race. This might be it. I'm going to catch my breath.
People are going to take the gamble to go onto slicks, and how many will stick it out on wet tyres? We've got just under 5 minutes to go. That's not a bad accident. I don't think it'll take long to clear that. So I don't think we'll get more than about 1 or maybe 2 laps at most behind the safety car. And we'll still have some drivers on slicks and some drivers on wets. This is going to be an interesting battle once you tighten everything back up again. The circuit is clearly still raceable. So we've got Ninovich, Miloski, Popov. Well, oh goodness me, everybody trying to take avoiding action in that corner. Safety car's out, there's a car in the middle of the road. They've still got to take avoiding action, of course. So there's a couple of drivers out here who have really made a smart call. I said at the start of the race that Ninovich was on wet tyres, but they obviously started on originally wet. So I'm going to have a look and see whether he is on... Do you know he's on wets? He's on wets. Everybody thought he was on slicks. No, Ninovich is on wets. I told you he was on wet tyres. Wow.
I thought he was on
that
slicks.
Just shows you, everybody thought that slick tyres was the way to go. Apparently, not necessarily. That just shows you how impressive Ninovich's run has been. Once you get the handle on these stuff.
Exactly. So I thought Ninovich was on what? Oh my god. What an absolute superstar. I thought he was on wets with the way he went deep into turn one on that first lap. Wow, that is huge. So no wonder he pulled away. That's amazing work from Ninovich.
From Ninovich, in drying conditions, parts of the circuit are soaking, parts of the circuit are drying out, and Alex Ninovich, who ran all the way through on wet tyres, is leading this race. Just astonishing. So Alex Ninovich in the road in. Let's have another replay. What are we going to see here? This is further back in the pack. Now to the braking zone. Careful, careful. You're going to get this really wrong. Good car control under the circumstances. Look at the power sliding that we saw in the early stages under the W Hotel. That's real driving. This has been one of the moves of the race so far. Remember Roberta on Weldon. Watch this. Around the outside. Sorry, buddy. I'm on the grid. Well, that has it. But how about this move from Weldon? Despite the love tap from Alcazaba, he kept his foot in, kept it together. Wow. That's the move of the season from Sebastian Weldon. Absolutely incredible. And there's Ninovich on wets, taking on Pirovsky on slicks. Absolutely phenomenal drive from Ninovich then under the circumstances. Really putting in such an amazing effort. We've got a minute and a half to go on the timer. Don't forget it's 28 minutes plus the additional lap. Some amazing racecraft coming in here. And so we're going to get to see who is going to survive in this very tricky race. I don't think we're going to get long under this safety car. That's the incident we saw earlier on. How did the CL Motorsport avoid the spinning Andrea Dupé? There goes Dupé round, bang, a little bit of a nudge. How did the CL miss it? That was purely on instinct. Good work from the Chinese driver to avoid the contact. They've got less than a minute to go as they come across the line behind the safety car. This race will only end under the safety car if we don't get started at the end of this next lap. So it's going to be very interesting indeed to see how this one finishes, because in the next 2 minutes we will know if the circuit is going to be clear enough at turn one to go racing. The safety team here is very, very quick, and they've made some very tough calls today, I have to say, under the circumstances. They haven't jeopardised the safety of the UAE4 drivers, but they've allowed the Formula Regional drivers to give us a proper race of it in very tricky conditions. So are we going to get a one-lap dash to the flag, or are we going to finish on a safety car? Either way, the Australian Alex Ninovich is in the box seat. Time has ticked down to 0. I'm fairly sure that anyone in the top 3 is probably thinking, do you know what, I'll happily finish on the safety car. Certainly Ninovich wouldn't mind it. What a drive it's been from Alex Ninovich. Even more so, what a drive from Reza Sawerden, up from 31st to 9th. What's happening here? That's a very problematic moment for August Raber. He's stopped on the circuit. Can he keep going? Because if he can't get moving again, then I'm afraid the race will end under safety car. So that'll be a second problem to clear. I've got a feeling that means that we'll go. Oh no, he did get going again. Well done, August. That might have saved us a one-lap dash. So we've got to wait for the confirmation. It'll come in the next few seconds if we're going to get it. And if it doesn't come, I have a feeling that this race is going to end under safety car conditions then. It was always going to be a gamble on a tricky surface like this in difficult conditions. It was always going to be difficult.
Indeed it was. But we're going to end on a safety car here, ladies and gentlemen. Quite unfortunately, we're not going to get a one-lap dash. We're going to finish under safety car. here for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. Last lap this time around. So the last lap of the Grand Prix. We're going to finish under the safety car for all the drivers. But yeah, Alex Ninovich went deep, turn 1, on pole. Went deep into turn 1, lost the lead. Gave it back to Peranzowski. And Peranzowski couldn't pull away. He had a 2-second margin. Ninovich crawled it back. We thought he was on slicks. He was on the wet tyres. He was on the wet rubber. So that means he had the grip in the traction zones for the RSGP team, though. It's going to be more domination in their side of the garage. Alex Ninovich, what a race it has been. The Australian driver, born and raised in Sydney, moved to the Middle East to compete in this championship, as I said. But what a race. Under safety car conditions, if you're wondering what time we're due for a race start for race number 2, well, that's in less than 40 minutes. I know it says on my stream schedule that I'm due to start at 5:50, but due to, I think we ran behind at least 15 minutes. I'm making a bit of that time back, and that's exactly what I've done. So I'm going to get that stream underway from 5:05. So we're going to catch up a bit of time from what we've lost throughout the week. We did lose up to 30 minutes yesterday. We were scheduled to go 70 minutes. We lost nearly 25 minutes yesterday in our schedule. So now we've made that back. We're starting about an hour early for this race. But yeah, race number 2 from 5 o'clock local time in Australia. And then we've got qualifying tonight for round number 3 at Dubai from 8:15. That should be fun. And that is... Who is that? That is car 6. That is Salim Hunter. Sorry, that is not Salim Hunter, but it's one of the Mumbai Falcons spun around. That looks like it's in the wrong direction. That is weird. Let's see what happens with that car. But in the end, the man could not be stopped. Alex Ninovich started from pole, lost the lead, regained the lead, controlled his way under the safety car. Alex Ninovich wins here in Abu Dhabi. The Australian driver wins. Yes. What a race. An Australian. Oh, man, the Rodent Motorsport team. Yes. An Australian won a flipping F4 race. Oh, my God.
So far, in the toughest conditions we've had.
What? Oh, my... Oh. An Australian. The... Alex Ninovich, the GP3 champion, has just put together a race win. I didn't even know he won the GP3 championship, but he's done it. The Australian in the Middle East. Oh boy, that's good. That's a good feeling. That is a good feeling. That is a very good feeling. Alex Ninovich, he can't celebrate as much as what he probably want to, but he can celebrate within the car. I'm happy. I'm happy. My dream has come true. Alex Ninovich won a race. The Australian. Born and raised in Sydney. Not even in Melbourne. Sydney. Man, that's good. That feels good. That feels good. That very much feels good. Wow. Good race. Alex Ninovich. He's bagged a win in the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Now, I need to go to the bathroom, but I actually can't leave because the highlights reel, the highlights reel, I have to commentate over because there's only one commentary guy, and that is Jake Sanson, and he has to do podium plus commentary for both F4 UAE and the Formula Regional. So yeah, I have to do the highlights reel for you guys, so you guys actually know what happened. So yeah, that should be fun. But yeah, what a race. Alex Nidovic put together an amazing victory. Now let's take a look at the results. Alex Nidovic and Jan Prowazowski, Maximilian Popov and Sebastian Weldon, the three rookies on the podium. King Nakamura, Kabir Anurag, Miguel Acosta, Sano, Severugan, and then we also have Giovanni Maschio, Jules Russell, Kato, Zenralchi. Then we have Gagagi, Aldahari in position 15, Maxim Ren, Salim Hanna, Dion Gauda, rounding out your top 15. Severukan, Kostic, Ho, Raber, Darianani, Powell, Jupe, Frey, Makadiko, and Gazava. And Felbin Neto in position 31. Sadly, Gazava out of this race and most likely out of the championship. But backing points in his back pocket is the man, the myth, the legend, the Australian. His name is Alex Nidovic, won the GB3 and GB4 championship. And now we hop out of the Middle Eastern car, the new Tortoise chassis, to win, to stand on the top step. He's won. The Australian, Alex Nidovic, the Roden Motorsport team will be extremely happy with that. Goes over to celebrate with the team as well. Be very happy with that. Indeed. What a race. What a drive as well. In tricky conditions. Tricky race, tricky conditions. But for Alex Nidovic, it went all his way in the end. As we'd say, the man, the myth, the legend. Alex Nidovic, what a race for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. Here, now we've got track noise as well, so the teams, he'll actually end up getting weighed here at the end of the race. See the Trident team as well celebrating. His driver, Alex Powell. Alex Powell on the podium as well. Gets the Pirelli hat, as well known as the Pirelli hat. Alex Powell celebrating also with his engineer and his team. Grabs and bags the podium. But let's take a look now at the race highlights. This race was one not to be forgotten. We got a wet start here in the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. It was under safety car conditions, but it was a good start. But sadly, Alex Nidovic, he went deep into turn one, could not get the car stopped. We thought he was on slicks the way he went deep, but we found out in the safety car period that he was on the wet tyres. Battles up and down the grid. We saw there Rashid Harry getting a bit of clipping of his front wing. Drivers there up and down the field looking for moves. A few drivers went deep. Kabir Anurag battling with King Nakamura for position. Bit of sideways moments there for Prowazowski as he battled with Alex Nidovic. And yes, the move of the race. Round the outside. King Nakamura on Sebastian Weldon. He's like, thank you very much. Let that position have it. Battles once more up and down the grid. Car going straight on. Many cars went straight on at the chicane down there. Probably the most important traction zone. King Nakamura going around the outside of Gazava, who sadly would end up retiring the car. Nidovic for the move of the leads to the inside of the track and gets the move done. Up to this point, we still thought he was on slicks. 3 wide action into turn number 1 on our layout, on the circuit, on the track. At Kazaba. This was the spin, and sadly, quite unfortunately, that car would not continue. Then this. Felberman, who was sadly out of the race, as we call him Lightning McQueen, lost traction, hit the barrier, and that would be the end of him. And it would be the end of the race as well, with Alex Nidovic having taken the lead, would eventually end up winning the race for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. What a race for Alex Nidovic.
round 2 here at Yas Marina Circuit, race 2. And it will be wonderful to welcome some new faces to the podium after a very solid race indeed. In third position for Italy, Max Popov. Great to see the Trident driver get back to the rostrum once again here at Yas Marina. In second position for Poland, Jan Bielowski. A great run for the Race Performance Motorsport man. A very smart drive from the front to the run to second. But your race winner for Australia, Alex Nurdovic! The first win of the season for Rodin Motorsport here in the Middle East, and probably not the last, as Alex Nurdovic climbs to the top of the podium. It's my honour once again to invite Jonathan Wells, the Motorsport Manager for Pirelli Tyres, Middle East, Africa, India region, to present our trophies. First of all, in third position for Italy and Trident Motorsport, Max Popov. In second for Poland and RPM, Jan Budowski. And to our winner for Australia and Rodin Motorsport, Alex Nurdovic. And finally, the Rookie Cup winner, it's Jan Budowski. So, folks, after another thrilling race here at Yas Marina, it's going to be an interesting final race of the day in Formula Regional Middle East Trophy later on. But our 3 drivers very deserving of the rostrum in very tricky conditions indeed. And I'm sure we're going to get to see some more action from these 3 drivers over the remainder of the season. They've only got 7 more races to prove themselves, but this is the moment they will celebrate with joy as our 3 drivers from the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy in race 2 here at Yas Marina, round 2, get busy with the business! Great to see Max Popov.
What a race we've had this weekend. Race number 2. We've got Alex Nurdovic, Jen Pranzowski, and Alex Powell on the podium. It's been an absolutely exciting race here this weekend for race number 2 for Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. We will be back in just under 40 minutes' time from 10 past 5 Australian Eastern Daylight Time for race number 3 of the week. And it should be quite exciting. That is from 10 past 5. In less than 40 minutes. I'll catch you then. It's goodbye.